This is About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills, author, speaker, and entrepreneur. Sit back and enjoy.
Greetings, fam. Entrepreneurs will be the new middle class. Now check it out. I mean, even though Rom is a generally optimistic person, I'm still paying attention to what's going on out here. You know, you have businesses closing, there's the retail crises and everything. And, so many things are being automated. What's going to happen, and what had happened previously, and this had happened during, especially in the United States, during the period from 1945 to 1970. Someone could make it to middle class working a nominally blue-collar job, be it plumbing or, working in the auto industry, some places in retail, just being a truck driver. You got a lot of truck drivers, they were getting paid. But with automation, that's all going away. Now, I still believe some new industries will emerge, but it won't be the same. It won't be the same as just being able to walk up to that large department store and get a job, start at the bottom and work your way up to the top. It's going to be hard. Now, there might be some positions like that where it's now the warehouse, but, you won't need, whereas like the average department store might need 200 people, workers, employees total. A warehouse doesn't need that many, especially with automation. Or the auto plants where they could employ thousands, they might be able to do the same thing with hundreds now. So whatever the political establishment decides as far as getting these people paid, whether it's basic income or however they decide to do something, the reality is it won't be the same middle class in the future. It'll be a different type of middle class. But what I predict, what Ron predicts, now time will tell whether I'm right or wrong. That's the beauty of predictions. All you're doing is taking the information you have presently and trying to project in the future. But then you can't really account for wild cards. But I predict from what I'm seeing now, the new middle class will be the entrepreneurial people. It will be, because first of all, here's why I say this. We're moving towards a society where it's haves and have-nots, where it'll be the owners and the workers. That's what we're moving towards. So you have those owners, like those Uber owners, those people who can affect the economies of whole countries. But then on a micro scale, someone who owns their business, even if they're not making like millions or even six figures, will still be in a better position than somebody who, might be on a basic income or making whatever passes for low wages in the future. So it won't be that situation where an unskilled person can make it to the middle class. No, we coming towards a future where it will be primarily entrepreneurs. Yeah, you'll have some managers and stuff like that. But if you really look at, now, even some of like many of the companies on the internet, they don't have thousands of employees. You got companies making billions of dollars, and they might have maybe a few hundred employees at best. Because with automation or just software, you don't need a lot of people. I mean, really, like just my YouTube operation. I'm saying just my YouTube operation, right? I don't need a bunch of people. There's several jobs in there, but I don't need a bunch of people. So what we evolve into is a future where you have, you got companies, they don't need as many employees, and even the entrepreneurs, because of what I refer you to that video I did on the U economy where you have a lot of freelance people doing stuff. You're not going to have even some business owners, even if they're making money with the technology now, you don't need a lot of people. regardless of what business. But they'll still be able to make some money, provided, people make sure that the consumers get money in their hands. But that was a video I did a couple days ago, right? But I see them, because the entrepreneurs, they're not up there with the Uber owners, but they'll still be owners. They'll still be in a better position to make money. Because one thing, if they do implement something like basic income, basically that's what it's going to be for you. You ain't going to get a yearly raise and vacation. If say I give a baseline, say they say $1,000, it'll probably be more than that in the future. But say they'll give you $1,000, that's pretty much going to be it. But I guarantee someone like that is pretty much going to stay. They're not going to be upwardly mobile. But I guarantee, whether they employ something like basic income or, some type of thing to keep it going, or some industry emerges. Even if an industry emerges, it probably won't be like it used to be. So the people who will probably have the more middle class income, the ability to have more of a disposable income, will be able to have better upward mobility, will be the entrepreneurs. And the upward mobility will likely come from just doing good business and building their business, whereas they become owners. And I want y'all to think about that. I was thinking about that. I was like, man, you know what? If people want to stay up there, see, used to be, I remember years ago, right? Years ago, when I was going through a tough time, right? And, I had a dude who had come up through, being able to work, he had worked in an auto factory, right? And he was just like, well, yeah, you should be able to get a job anywhere and all that. And, they're out there. And I'm like, this dude had been retired. I said, no, it ain't like it was when you were young, just walk up to that factory, My only thing is, if I wanted to advance, I had to go the entrepreneurial route. I mean, it's like that now. I mean, we still normally have a middle class. But if you really look at it, the middle class now is mostly older folks. I mean, you have some young folks getting up in there and they making some money, but nowhere near where it could be. Because you got a lot of young folks, they ain't sure what they want to do, and, they still living with their older parents. But see, that's going to change up some. And, once people start, once these older folks start dying off, the younger, and then, the younger people don't have jobs to replace it. They might not be able to maintain what their parents had or their grandparents had, unless they're entrepreneurial. Now, I know it's not going to be, I mentioned this earlier, it's not going to be all entrepreneurs. It'll be, some managers, even with automation, you still need people to run some things. You still, because owners themselves, in many cases, they're not going to be on the premises. But that's what it's going to be. And it'll be interesting to look at how it will look. One thing I predict, and maybe I need to do another video, and it's going to change the education system. Because the education system, you know what? I'm going to do a separate video on that. I'm going to do a separate video. That warrants a separate video. So that was just a teaser, y'all. But yeah, I think that's going to be the future. That's going to be the future. And that, there's one thing I'm like, I look at my sons. And I'm thinking too. I'm like, okay, they need to start thinking about hustles. Because honestly, coming from me and their mother, they might not think it's normal to work at 9 to 5 anyway. So, but we just have to face that's going a possible future, because we, like I said, at the end of the day, we really don't know what's going to happen. So, yeah, that's all I really got to say about that. So anyway, right. you know, check out some of my other videos on here, especially if you're new to the channel. Check it out, comment, tell some friends about it. You know. So anyway, right? That's it for today. Let's go out there and make some money. That money. Man, I'm gonna get that down one time. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later.